You're looking to purchase a home or a condo, and your real estate agent suggests that you get a mortgage pre-approval or a mortgage pre-qualification. Well, what's the difference between those two vehicles? What are the steps to invoke either one of those? We're going to discuss that, and a lot more in the next few minutes. My name is Mike Renick. I'm the senior broker, the team lead with Team Renick Real Estate Services. We're part of that great Keller Williams and the Water family, serving the west coast of Florida. My guest today, and the man with all the answers, will be Christopher Kiblin. Chris has over 20 years experience in the finance and mortgage industry. He has fine-tuned his customer service skills so that they're at the highest level, which is something very important to me. They offer Manatee and Sarasota County home buyers unbelievable service. He promises to give you a low rate on the right mortgage product, along with transparent and fair fees. They leverage cutting-edge technology to streamline the process, which allows them to provide unmatched services. So let me hit the right button here. We'll bring Chris on. Good morning, Chris. How are you today?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Welcome to a new edition of Chris and Mike Talking Together.
Yes, sir. Nice warm weather down here, huh?
Oh, I'm enjoying this. I'm looking out the window right now. There's a light breeze. The sun is out. It's got to be Florida, correct?
Correct. You know, I'm starting to see all these pictures up north with snow. I'm not missing it.
And I'm a little envious. You've got an open collar, and as soon as this video's over, my tie comes off. So I always believe in transparency. But we're going to talk about pre-qualifications and pre-approval. So I'm going to let you go ahead, Chris.
Yes, sir. So, you know, one of the biggest things that I thought that this would be a great topic for us to talk about is because it is a confusion between so many people. What is a pre-qualification and what is a pre-approval? So, you know, a lot of people don't know the difference, and they are completely different. So here's the thing. This is why I want to talk about this, is because if you go to your lender and your lender gives you what's called a pre-qualification, a pre-qualification is really just that loan officer's best guess of your approval, right? So what does that mean? That means that basically your loan officer took a loan application from you, maybe checked out your credit score, but they didn't really dig into your file. Maybe they didn't get your income documents, your bank statements. And then what they do is then they issue you a pre-qualification letter, okay? So what happens when you go out and you're shopping and you're trying to, you know, make an offer on a home and you have a pre-qualification letter? Well, that pre-qualification letter isn't very good, okay? And the reason being is because that loan officer really didn't go through all the property of getting what we needed for a pre-approval letter. So what is a pre-approval letter? Because a pre-approval letter is completely different. When we're dealing with a pre-approval letter, that is a much in-depth of the customer, right? So what we're looking at is we are looking at going in, getting an application, getting their credit scores. We're going to run them through what's called our automated desktop underwriter, right? That means that it's an automated underwriting system, but we're also going to collect all your documents. So what that means is I'm going to get your tax returns, your W-2s, your bank statements, and then I'm going to submit that package over to an underwriter. We're going to have an underwriter review that, and then that underwriter is going to say, yes, you're good to go. Here's your pre-approval. So it's a fully underwritten approval. And when you take that out into the marketplace and you're going to make an offer on a home, that pre-approval letter is then going to be a much stronger letter than that pre-qualification letter. We almost call it, in our industry, we call it almost like you're walking in with a cash offer at that point, right? Because I'm walking in with that pre-approval signed by that underwriter saying that you've been approved, okay? The only thing that you could actually, you know, not stop the approval process is the appraisal maybe didn't appraise or title work. But as far as that customer is concerned, they've all been approved. So it's a very strong letter. And so, you know, you really want to have, especially in our marketplace I'm seeing, you know, multiple contract offers now being put out there. And we've won some deals because we've had those pre-approval letters over a pre-qualification letter. So it is very important to make sure you understand the difference between the two. And some of the biggest things that I see out there, especially if you have a self-employed borrower, and that self-employed borrower is not claiming everything that they say they claim on their tax returns. That's why you want to put them through underwriting. You want to make sure that client is qualified. You don't want to go under contract and find out 2 weeks later that they write off everything that they make. So it's very important. That's why we always suggest to all of our clients, hey, let's get your documents, let's get you pre-approved. That way you have a much stronger offer when you walk in to make that offer on that home.
So Chris, when someone's going to go through the pre-approval process, can you just share a little bit about what they need to be able to provide?
Sure. So, so typically, and every customer is different because everybody has a different, whether they're self-employed or they're a W-2 employee. But most of the time, what you're going to need is you're going to need your 2 years of tax returns, your last 2 years. Okay. If you're a W-2 employee, you're going to need your last 2 years of W-2s, your last 2 months of bank statements, your IDs, and let's see what else we have here, and your pay stubs. So those are going to be the majority of what we're looking for. And like I said, sometimes it might be a couple other things, but those are pretty much the common things that we're looking for. So it's not a lot of documentation, so to get the process going. And it can actually be very quickly because almost everybody nowadays has everything electronically, right? So most of your places, you can go get your bank statements online. You can get your W-2s from your employer online. So it doesn't take that process very long to get those. And once we get those documents from you, we can submit it and have an answer to you, usually within about 4 hours after submitting your file.
So in the long run, my job as a real estate broker, when I represent a buyer, is to make sure I put that buyer in the strongest possible position for the offer they're about to make. The way to do that is to go through the pre-approval process and make the mortgage part of the deal as smooth as possible. That way, when I present it to the seller, I can share with the seller that we've been through underwriting. This is good to go. The biggest thing we have outstanding might be a clouded title, but that issue's there for cash or mortgage. And the other thing would be an appraisal. And I can share with the other side that we're confident at what we're proposing for the purchase price is something that it would appraise for. As a licensed broker, I can do appraisals for non-federally insured mortgage deals. So we have the background to calculate that. But to make a long story short, this vehicle just allows us to make the buyer stronger in the strongest possible sense. Does that make sense, Chris?
Absolutely. And you always want to go out there and like I said, if you're having let's say it's multiple offer situations, and you're competing, even against a cash offer, but maybe that cash offer is a little bit lower, but I have a pre-approval that's already been done. They're going to be like, well, they've already been pre-approved and this is a little bit more money than what the cash offer is offering, so I'll take them. If you walked in there with that pre-qualification letter, they'd probably be like, I think we'll go with the cash offer instead. So it definitely makes them a much stronger buyer.
And another thing we do when it's just our offer that's on the table, by showing how strong that is with the pre-approval, one of the techniques we use is we believe we can get it for a little bit lower price. The stronger the other terms are, there's multiple terms when you put together an offer, and it's not just the highest price. It's fast to close, it's inspection periods, the type of contract written, how qualified is the buyer, and we can use all of those. And by doing that, you don't necessarily have to pay the top dollar for the purchase price. The seller is happy with the rest of the terms. Does that make any sense?
Absolutely. And we see that quite a bit. And then going back to what you said, I actually had another client of mine that actually submitted our pre-approval letter. And because they were pre-approved, it was $2,000 less than what another person had put in. And they took our pre-approval because the other client was only pre-qualified.
And
so,
see,
that's a big difference.
Absolutely. It's up to us when I present the pre-approval to make sure that the other side knows the difference between the qualification and the approval process.
Correct. Yep, absolutely.
Chris, another outstanding job. Anything else to add?
Nope. If you have questions, you want to reach out to me, I'm always available pretty much Monday through Sunday. My phone number is 443-668-5727. I'd be more than happy to talk to you.
And we even tested that out last weekend when I needed something, and you responded immediately. So thank you for that.
Oh, you're very welcome.
All right, Chris, take care. Have a great week. I'll see you next Tuesday.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.